It's a wonderful feeling to feel your love for me, to feel the joy you bring. Your love is the answer, so I sing to you. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. Whoa. Reason why my hands are up, my feet dance down below. It's a wonderful feeling that I belong to you, no matter where I may go. Your love is the answer, so I sing to you. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. I'm thankful that you love me. All right, let's get it. Come on. 1, 2, 3, sing. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Come on. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Let's go. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. The reason is you, Jesus.
You're why I'm singing now.
The reason is you, Jesus.
You're what it's all about.
At the cross you set me free, and I'm thankful that you love me. So thankful that you love me. Come on, come on. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Let's go. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Come on. I can't stop this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason. Come on. I never wanna shake this feeling. Jesus, you're the reason.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another amazing month here at Family Experience. We are so excited to see you and hang out with you this morning. Hey, Nath, what are we going to learn about this month?
Well, Malia, this month we're talking about grit. Have you ever heard that word before? Grit. Well, let's see what it means. Grit is refusing to give up when life gets hard.
Wow, that seems pretty important, right? I mean, all of us have to face tough things from time to time, but we don't have to face them alone. We know that God is with us and God can help us hold on when we face challenges in life. One place where people definitely need some grit is when they're climbing a mountain. Think about it. Mountain climbers really have to hold on to the rocks and to their climbing ropes, and they have to keep moving upward if they want to reach the peak.
How about to help us understand what it would be like in the gritty mountains? We're going to play a game called Guess the Gear. We'll put an image on the screen on some of the gear you might use when you're hiking, climbing, or camping, and I'll read you an answer of what the gear is called and what you use it for. If you think that everything I tell you is true, you'll stand up. But if you think any of it is false, you'll stay seated. Got it? Great! Okay, the first one is a roasted marshmallow. And sometimes if we're camping in summer, we roast these on the fire and we add tomato sauce. So stand up or sit down. The answer's false. I mean, it was close to being true. It is a roasted marshmallow, but we normally don't put tomato sauce on them. Okay, Malia, what is the next one?
All right, this is called a carabiner. And this we sometimes use if we go rock climbing, or sometimes if we go climbing in the bush. I've never done that, but do you guys think that's true, or do you think that's false? That one's true!
Okay, the next one's jandals, and you wear these when you go hiking in the bush to keep your feet protected from bugs and insects. What do you think? Are you sitting or are you standing? It's false! Jandals would not keep your feet protected from bugs and insects in the bush.
All right, the next one is a water bottle. This is a portable shower. This is for once you've been camping for a few days and you feel like you need a shower. You just pour this all over your head and you're immediately clean. Yeah, this one's false. Sadly, I prefer a hot shower in the comfort of a campground, and a water bottle would not be enough to be nice and clean.
All right, this one is a quick tent. And these are used for an easy way to put a tent up. You just pop it up, climb inside, and if you need shelter out in the bush, you use one of these. Standing or sitting? This one's true! I
Wow.
wish I had one of those.
Me too. Now the next one is hiking poles. Really professional hikers will use these to stabilize themselves when they're walking up a steep path. Okay, are you sitting or are you standing? Because this one is true. These are for those guys who just love hiking. Not me.
All right, the last one is a camping stove. And you put this on your head and shine the light directly into the pot to cook your food. All right, obviously it's not true, but did I trick any of you?
Thanks for playing along, guys. You know a lot about mountain climbing gear. Of course. And the one thing every climber really needs is a whole lot of grit. We know that God can help us live with grit each day, so we can refuse to give up when life gets hard. And let's keep that in mind while we hear today's Bible story.
Hey everyone!
Hey, Ryan.
Oh boy, you better strap in because we are in for a bumpy ride with Joseph. Joseph was second youngest in the family, and he was his father Jacob's favorite son. Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful, expensive, colorful robe. Joseph started having dreams, and he couldn't keep them to himself. He had to tell his brothers.
We were harvesting grain, and all your grain bundles bowed to mine. And in my other dream, the sun and moon and stars bow to me. That's like Mom and Dad and you guys.
Great way to make your big brothers like you, huh? Joseph's brothers were very jealous of him. So when Joseph's dad sent him to check up on his brothers out on the fields, they snapped.
Here comes that dreamer.
Let's get rid of him.
No, don't harm him. Just throw him in this empty pit.
And that's exactly what they did. They threw him in a pit. They were still deciding what to do with Joseph when a group of traders heading for Egypt showed up.
Let's sell him to these traders.
Joseph was sold by his very own brothers. His brothers even lied and told their father Joseph was dead.
No way.
Can you imagine? Joseph was a teenage kid on his own in a foreign country, sold into slavery. He was sold to a man named Potiphar, captain of the king Pharaoh's guards. Joseph didn't know anyone, didn't speak the language. He could have given up, but God was with him, even in Egypt. Joseph worked so hard and did so well that over several years he gained Potiphar's trust. Eventually, Potiphar put Joseph in charge of his entire estate. Things were finally looking up for Joseph, until they fell apart. Again. Potiphar's wife was sneaky, and she wanted Joseph to do something wrong. When he refused, she threw a tantrum!
He tried to hurt me.
Throw him in prison!
Now, Joseph was on his own, enslaved in a foreign land, and in prison. Yeah, it was time for him to have an epic pity party, right? I mean, that's probably what I would have done. But Joseph was still growing. He'd come a long way from that overconfident kid who had boasted to his brothers. God was with Joseph, even in jail. Joseph still worked hard, taking care of chores, helping other prisoners. The man who ran the jail was so impressed he put Joseph in charge of everything. One day, 2 brand new prisoners arrived, straight from the royal palace. The Pharaoh's royal baker and his official drink taster. Joseph made sure they were comfortable. Well, as comfortable as you can be in jail. But one morning, both of these guys showed up at the breakfast table looking pretty upset.
Why do you look so sad today?
We both had dreams. But no one can tell us what they mean.
Only God knows what dreams mean. Tell me what you saw.
Ah, now we're back to where we started, right? With dreams. The drink taster told of seeing a vine that budded and grew bunches of grapes. And then the drink taster squeezed the grapes right into Pharaoh's cup.
Pharaoh will release you from prison and give you your job back.
Yes!
When he does, please put in a good word for me.
Well, after this, the baker was excited to hear about his dream, where baskets of bread sat on the baker's head and birds ate the bread.
Pharaoh will release you from prison and have you killed.
What? That's pretty awful news to have to give someone. But it happened just as God had revealed to Joseph. In 3 days, the baker was killed. But the drink taster was released from prison and given his job back.
Now the drink taster will remember to tell Pharaoh about me and I'll get out.
So, you think the drink taster remembered?
Yep.
Nope. So, Joseph was still stuck alone, in a foreign land, in prison, forgotten. But even then, God was with him. The end.
Isn't it interesting how Joseph had all of those ups and downs in his life? And after all that happened to him, here he was, stuck all alone in a foreign land in prison. He probably felt forgotten, but even then God was with him. I can't wait to find out what happened to Joseph next week. But for now, let's think about what Joseph did while he was in the middle of all of those ups and downs.
Joseph trusted God. He kept holding on because he knew that God was with him. That's good for us to remember. Hold on because God is with you. We all go through good times and tough times. Maybe our ups and downs aren't exactly the same as what Joseph went through.
But like Joseph did, we can choose to hold on and remember that we're never alone. God is with us through it all. And our family question for today is, what helps people get through hard times? Consider the ways in which people try to get through difficult points of life. Do they turn to friends? Do they pray to God? Do they listen to music that gets them fired up to keep them going? How can remembering that God is with us make a difference for how we get through these difficult moments?
If you're not sure how you'd answer those questions, that's okay too. Why not grab someone older to chat through these with? Ask them to share different ways that they've gotten through difficult times in their lives. And I'm sure that they're full of wisdom for you to hold on to. And once we've done that, we have another So and So show coming up. So we'll see you next time.
And that's actually going to be on our Facebook page from now on, guys. So if you want to watch the So and So show, head on over to the Kidspace family page.
I know the reason why my feet can't stop, my heart can't help but sing. It's a wonderful feeling.